Hello, and welcome to this edition of Simply Saturday, where I get to show you a card that is quick and easy to make. Today we're going to be using designer series paper to make our card go quickly. And I also want to mention that the stamp set that I'll be using is Happy and Heartfelt. Let me show you that. We're going to be making a thank you card, so I'll be using the thank you stamp. And time out. I could tell that my office, my craft space, which has been quiet all day, is about to get not so quiet, and I needed to just go shut the door. So I am starting with a piece of basic white. This is the thick weight cardstock, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, and I have already pre-scored it at 4 1/4 down the center. All right, now what I do want to mention is once you do the cutting of the designer series paper, you're actually going to have enough paper for 2 cards. So if you want to go ahead and prepare 2 card bases at once, then you'll be ready to make a second card. So I do have my 2 card bases. All right, then we're going to take our designer series paper, and you'll need 2 pieces. These are from a set of paper called Butterfly Kisses, and I've chosen a paper that I like the front and the back and how it goes well together. All right, so this happens to be just the front and the back of one paper. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes you have to mix and match a little bit. So these 2 pieces are identical. They're 5.5 by 4 1/4. Now I'm going to show you how to cut the second one. I've already cut the first one into diagonal pieces. So let me show you how to do that. You take your paper, and we're going to line it up on the diagonal. Well, let me point out one thing. These 2 pieces, as I mentioned, are identical, but on one of them we need to cut with this print up, and on the second one we need to cut with this print up, okay? And you'll see why that's important in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this in with the right top corner and the bottom left corner as my diagonals. So you can put it in your trimmer, and you can line up the corner right there in the cutting groove and the bottom corner in the cutting groove as well. All right, so I've got that positioned, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut that. So now I have my 2 pieces that have been cut in exactly the same way, but one with side A facing up and one with side B facing up. When you go to cut your paper also on your trimmer, you can actually cut through 2 layers of designer series paper at the same time. So as long as you remember to flip one of them over, you could lay these into your trimmer and do the cut all in one step. All right, now the reason we needed to do that is now we're going to end up with one triangle that is our top piece from this paper and one bottom triangle that is from this paper. These are going to line up on our card front. And then because we had the 2 pieces, you can see that we're also going to have a second card ready to go with just the reverse of the prints. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside, and we will complete this one during our Simply Saturday episode. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is attach these to my card front, and I'll use my liquid glue to do this. So this is the bottom corners, and what I'm going to do when I lay this down is line up my corner right where I want it, because if there's any sticking up off the top or sticking out at an edge, I could trim that off if I need to. This is actually fitting just absolutely perfectly, so we're not going to have anything that we need to trim. But if I did, I would need to trim here and here because this piece is nice and set. All right, then I'm going to take this piece and attach it here. So while I'm doing that, I'll mention that this card design came from a very good friend of mine. Her name is Sandy, and she had sent me a card recently. And I just fell in love with the design, just a beautiful card. And because the design is a little bit simple, I thought it would be perfect for our Saturday series. So I asked her if I could case it in my video, and of course, that was not a problem. So thank you, Sandy, for my card and for letting us case your card today. All right, so now I'm lining up that second print. All right, so easy. Okay, now what I'm going to do is get ready for the words. So I've prepared a couple of pieces. I have a piece of Starry Sky that is 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. And I have a piece of Fresh Freesia that is 2 5/8 by 1 5/8. These are going to get layered together like so. Starry Sky is one of our newer in colors, and I just love that deep, deep purple. And it's featured here in the designer paper too, so we know it's going to coordinate nicely. Okay, then I have prepared my ovals. Now, I have a set of retired dies called Layering Ovals, and that's where I got my two. This one is cut from Basic White, and this one is cut from Calypso Coral. If you don't have layering dies already in your craft stuff, they have retired, and so you can do just the exact same look with our double oval punch, which is still available. So on my white oval, I'm going to stamp the words in black ink. And this is the first time that I've stamped with this particular stamp today. So I am going to do a quick practice stamp on a piece of scratch paper. I like to be reminded if it's kind of crooked, or it helps me see if my ink pad is nice and inky all around. Okay, we're in good shape. Oh, see, there's something here. I picked it up when I was inking my stamp, so I want to make sure that I clean that little fuzz off. Let's make sure that I got it. Okay, we are all set. So I will stamp on my oval. See if I can do this so you can see it, but I'm not in your way. All right, there's our thank you. And this is going to get attached to the Calypso Coral scallop oval. All right, I like how these colors are coordinating with each other. And again, I pulled them right from the paper. Just sliding that around a little bit, seeing if I can get it centered up a bit better. There we go. Okay, we've got our pieces assembled. Now we're going to take some ribbon. So I have two different colors that coordinate with our paper. I have Fresh Freesia, which is going to look really, really pretty. And I also have a Calypso Coral ribbon. This one is current. You can still get this one. This, I think, is an older ribbon, but it is the right color. So I can see that that looks really good too. So I think on this first card, I'm going to use this color, and then I'll save my Fresh Freesia when I go back another time and finish that card. Okay, so I'm gonna lay my ribbon on here, and what I wanna do is go ahead and let it hang off the edges, because then I'm gonna trim it with scissors. All right, and I'm trying to think which adhesive I want for the best look. I think I'm gonna reach for some glue dots. Because the thing we have to consider here is the glue sticking through the ribbon. So let me see here if that's what I want to do. I think, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a couple of glue dots and put them down here in the center, because this is going to get covered and I don't have to worry about that problem of the glue poking through the ribbon and feeling tacky. So I'm just going to put like 3 of those here. This is so funny. If you watch Stampin' Up videos from different demonstrators or different ones that I've posted, you may see comments about the glue dots, because previously, the glue dots on the roll, the sticky part was here, not on the loose part. This part was just covering them, and they were all on here. And then about, I feel like it was about a year ago, the manufacturer switched the process to where now the glue dots are on the tail and not on the roll, and it takes some getting used to. All right, so I'm going to do that just to get this tacked down, like so. And again, that is going to be covered, but it's not even sticky like I was worried about. So it's kind of making me feel better. All right, so I'm just going to finish with glue dots, because that is not a problem at all. But you saw me do the first few just with my Take Your Pick tool. I want these ones on the end to be nice and flat. So I am going to use my ribbon to pick up the dot and keep it nice and flat. I'm not making it all scrunched up like I did on those other ones. So it's going to stay nice and flat, and I'm going to get it attached right there in the corner of my card. Let's do the same. I can go ahead and trim this, get us free from the roll. And then on this side, I need one right here where my thumbnail is. So I'm going to pick up my dot on the back of the ribbon, keeping it nice and flat, pull it off the backing, and stick it in place. Okay, that is going to hold nicely. Now, what you do need are some super sharp scissors. So hopefully your snips are super sharp, or if you have some other scissors, better yet, if you have fabric scissors, those would probably do the best job. I'm going to see if my long scissors here will cut nice and cleanly. I've got that edge trimmed, and that one. Yep, that worked great. Okay, and then same thing on the other end. If you don't use a sharp scissor, you are likely to just pull at the ribbon and not get a nice clean cut. And we do want a nice clean cut on those ends. Okay, and now we can add our layers. I'm going to put the thank you onto here with a couple of dimensionals. Two will hold it nicely. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of the Starry Sky piece as well. So this time I'm going to use 4, put one in each corner. And then we have one last step to finish our card. All right, so we've got this, and I'm gonna put my card nice and straight. Get this as straight as I can so it just kind of straddles that ribbon. I've got it slightly higher than center, like so. It's cute. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some ribbon. This also may be a little bit older ribbon, but find something that's just neutral or white. Actually, our white glittered organdy ribbon would look fantastic for this. In the meantime, I'm going to use this little soft woven ribbon. I like the look of it. It's super soft, and I can tie a bow with it. So you might even have this in your collection. You want to use something that's not too wide. I think this is, it's not marked on the spool. This was part of like a duo. It had two ribbons, this and the twine that came together. This is 1/2 inch ribbon. So sometimes you want to be careful to not get a ribbon that's too wide. So 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch would work great. All right, there's my nice soft bow. Trim that up, and I'm just going to add that nice chunky bow right here with a glue dot. All right, one glue dot right in the center of that knot should hold this. And I'm just going to tuck it actually on, I think on the card. Yep. Okay, so let me make sure you can see. I'm going to actually attach the bow to the designer paper part of the card, not to any of this that's already raised. There we go. That way it, by the time you get to the knot and the loops, it's not sticking up too much. I think this side needs to be trimmed a teeny bit. And I wish my fabric scissors were within your reach, but they're not. So we'll see. This did pretty good on the Calypso Coral. There we go. And there you have it. There is our card for today. Thank you for watching this episode of Simply Saturday. I'll put all kinds of information in the description below, including links to products and also all of the dimensions of our little pieces of paper and so forth today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.